There used to be lots of grey-crowned cranes here, but not anymore. Ondiri Wetland was once home to all kinds of birds. The duck and heron populations have also declined. Wetlands bind CO2 and store rainwater. Ondiri is a key source of water for the nearby town of Kikuyu, as well as the Kenyan capital Nairobi. But Kikuyu is growing and getting ever closer to the wetland. Greenhouses and fields now reach right up to the edge of the swamp, which covers 3.3 square kilometres, the equivalent of 450 football pitches. Farmers used to harvest large amounts of grass from the wetland to feed their cattle, which meant birds had less room to build their nests. But that is no longer the case, thanks to David Wakogi and his colleagues, who make up the Friends of Ondiri Wetland group.
When we started our work here, there were so many fodder harvesters who are harvesting fodder. And at the end of the year, just after summer, they could burn this place. And this place would have the whole biodiversity destroyed.
The group has 300 members. They are in the process of planting 8,000 young trees around the wetland to help prevent soil from the fields washing into the wetland when it rains, and to hinder cattle from going there to graze. David Kairu's farm is next to the wetland. He's keen to make sure that the trees here can thrive.
Since the trees were planted, the place looks good. In the past, there was grazing, and sometimes cows would get into the swamp and sink in the bog. And now there's no more grass harvesting either.
Another problem is that wastewater from the greenhouse pollutes the area with toxins, including heavy metals. That's serious, because the wetland is the source of a tributary of the Nairobi River, on whose waters the capital depends. The Friends of the Ondiri Wetland have persuaded some farmers to give up this kind of intensive cultivation. And they're helping to undo the damage.
We are planting bamboo trees along this wetland. They are very good trees when it comes to sipping in the metals that are coming out of the greenhouse farming.
For a long time, the local authorities did little to protect the swamp, but that too is changing.
We are working directly with the farmers because you find the riparian areas, it's part of their land. So we are educating them and creating awareness. But again, we also encourage them to do organic farming because when it rains and they have used chemicals, then these chemicals end up in our rivers.
Thanks in particular to the efforts of the Friends of Ondiri, the wetland has started to recover. Their next project is to build a trail for birdwatchers.
The birds that are found here can be of very important tourist attraction to this area because one, there are those areas that have been marked as important birding area, IBAs, and Ondiri Wetland is not one of them. And that is one of the things that Friends of Ondiri want to achieve.
If things go well, Ondiri will once again become a paradise for birds. A recent survey found the wetland now supports more than 70 different species, as conditions here slowly improve.